break.
I'm sure you would agree, Mark Osler.
Absolutely, Mike. They were camping outside the gate at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. There are really so many people here.
The V8s are alive and strong. John Bowe on pole. 7th pole and 8 starts, 107.32, and sharing the front row, a boy to keep an eye on today. Mark Skaife in the Whitfield Racing Commodore. He's won here twice in the last 2 years. Row number 2, Neil Crompton, the Coca-Cola Commodore, and Glenn Seton in the Peter Jackson Falcon.
Out of row 3, Larry Perkins in the Castrol Commodore with Dickie Johnson in car 17 alongside him. Row 4, Wayne Gardner, Crompton's teammate back there, and 05, Peter Brock, the Mobile Commodore.
Row number 5 is Alan Jones in the second of the P. Jackson Falcons, and Tony Longhurst in the Castrol Falcon EF. Row 6, 015, Thomas Mazzera, the Mobile Commodore, and Jimmy Richards in the second of the Winfield Commodores.
First of the privateers, Paul Romano on row 7 with Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 Falcon alongside him. Row 8, David Attard in the Alcare Air Conditioning Commodore, and Bobby Pearson in the Product VP.
Row number 9 is David Parsons, young privateer in the Commodore, and Mark Cool in the Cartronics Commodore. Row number 10, Chris Smurden in the Mitsubishi Electrics Commodore, and John Trimble in the Daily Planet Falcon EV, leaving Kevin Waldock in the Team Komatsu Falcon out of row number 11. Holden versus Ford, the square up. Race 1 for round number 8. John Bowe in 18, and the man who's won here the past 2 years, Mark Skaife in the Winfield Commodore. Set to go at Mallala before a capacity crowd, and Bowe wins the start, and Crompton up the inside of Skaife, goes straight by, so too does Larry Perkins, and an appalling start there from Glenn Seton, who's got shuffled back about 6 cars as they go down into the left-hander.
Yeah, well, Skaife lost the start as well. A fabulous start by John Bowe. He just seems to know exactly what to do, and a brilliant start by the Coke car. Old Neil is on the job today.
John got the hammer down there. That thing just launched off the line, and Crompton equally brilliant start from the second position to push his way through. He's got Larry Perkins behind him. And there's one spinning there. I think it might have been Thomas Mazzera, was it? And Parsons in trouble as well. As the field gathers themselves up, Crompton hanging on to second position. There's Parsons, the rookie in car 55.
I think it might have been Mark Poole that had a problem as well back in the pack. He goes through. So they've all regained as they come down under brakes into the right-hander. There's your race leader, John Bowe, Neil Crompton. Then it's Larry Perkins, Jimmy Richards, a good start. Dick Johnson is the next one, then followed by Glenn Seton and Alan Jones back in the pack a little deeper.
Get the impression that may have been Peter Brock at the back of the pack there.
It was a mobile car, Mark, for sure. Just not sure whether it was Brocky or Mazzera.
They come in to reel off one. Bowe, the order over Crompton. Perkins is the next, followed by Richards. Then it's Johnson, Glenn Seton, Wayne Gardner. A gap back to Longhurst. Then Jimmy Richards.
Peter Brock in all sorts of trouble at the back of the field. It was Brock who spun sideways there. He's back in last position. And for the man trying to track down John Bowe's 32-point buffer in this championship, that is a critical blow.
Yes, he can kiss today's activities goodbye. He'll be mad about that, but he'll sort you out.
Some great pictures there, the Castrol race camp. As we ride out the front of Larry Perkins' car, he closes under brakes on Neil Crompton and the Coca-Cola Commodore, the right-hander. Now it's a straight run before the right-hand curve as John Bowe and the 18 Shell FAI Falcon starts to open it up by another couple of car lengths, and Crompton finds that Larry Perkins and Mark Skaife are right behind him to keep him company.
Well, there may be some people at home wondering where the Coke Commodores have come from all of a sudden. And Skaife sneaks through on the inside of Perkins under brakes there, so he's making a move through the field too. Moves up into third position ahead of Larry and Perkins. Not going to let him go. Sneaks up on the inside as they come through the sweeper. Down toward the braking area once again, but Skaife on a charge. Larry Perkins, we're with him with Castrol Oil's race cam up behind the Winfield Commodore VR as now Skaife tries to zero in on Crompton.
Yeah, well, Mark would have been mad at himself about that poor start, but he's obviously knuckled down and said, I know what to do for the rest of the race, and up to third already. A good recovery, but a pity to lose the opportunity you have when you're on the front row.
So Perkins shuffled back to fourth. Should be a great battle this. Bowe's gone for a gamble on a much harder tyre than the tyre that Perkins and Crompton are running. So as this race unfolds, we may see that coming into the equation. But Crompton at the moment, very quick times as he hangs onto the back of Bowe. But Bowe really is spreading away. He opened it up 1.6 seconds that last time across the start-finish line.
And the further that he gets in the lead, Mark, the easier he can be on the car. It might only be a little bit here and a little bit there, but soft tyre or not, he can control his car if he's got the pack behind him. It's when you're in the middle of the field having to throw your car around to try and get back in the lead that chews up the tires so badly. That Winfield car, the left front off the ground through that sweeper, really likes a soft car on a circuit like this. Mark's been testing at testing the back bumper bar.
Sure is.
Well, he'll keep the pressure on. Look at it, just pick up the inside front. He'll try and get down the inside again here for the next corner. Can't do it. It's a little too tight. But he is the man on the move at the moment, Mark Skaife, after losing the initial kick at the start. He's now up on the tail of Neil Crompton's co-Commodore. Larry Perkins was sitting in company with them, but he's dropped back into the clutches of Dick Johnson at this stage. And there is a little run off the racetrack from Neil Crompton. He had problems with brakes yesterday. Tries to get back out again now as they head down to the right-hander.
Yes.
So whether he just got a little too far off.
Slip up there on Neil's part. He got wide, and I don't think it was marked if he didn't force him off the track.
Great recovery too, but he's got Perkins right up behind him as they come through the sweeper once again. And Skaife, is that?
No, Johnson up there, yes.
Skaife's been in contact with another car. Look at the damage on the front of the Winfield Commodore.
Well, I think you'll find that may have been a hit up the tail of Neil Crompton coming out of that corner.
Gee, it must have been one heck of a hit.
Well, something upset Neil. He didn't just drive off the circuit. That's not his style.
Let's have a look at this on race cam as a replay, thanks to Tooheys.
Oh, this will be good.
That's at the back of Crompton's car. Bang! Cop that, young Kelly. Oh, the hood's up. Good.
Well, we know why Crompton got nerfed off onto the dirt. He was lucky to. Oh, now he's gone off where he went yesterday in practice, so he knew what to do. Everybody jumping on the brakes at the end of the main straight and really using their cars up. Wayne Gardner bringing up the Coke team into contention again after Neil had his oops.
First time the Falcons have run two with the inner guard shotgun panels, as they're called, in the front of the car. Slightly higher front ride height on the car was expected to pull them back a bit. Talked to most of the four teams. This had the effect of probably 1, maybe 2, 3/10 of a second on the fast track. So the Falcons still very, very quick. The Commodores have got to fight for every inch of space. Look at Seton down the inside of Larry. Thank you very much. And is it Gardner?
Yeah, Wayne Gardner.
He's going to have a go as well.
He's capitalised, not quite. He needed a bit more room to get here into this left-hand sweeper, but he's serving notice on Larry that he's got intentions of more than following him. There he goes long up the outside. I don't think he can do too much with that move, but he's certainly letting Larry know, I'm about to pass you, mate.
Well, we've already seen what happened in our replay. A big hit up the back of Neil Crompton from Mark Skaife. And then you went off. Just tell us exactly what happened, Neil.
Well, it was all a bit weird, actually, Mike. Right at this very spot here, I obviously misshifted. I didn't actually gate properly from third to fourth. Either that or we've got a problem with the gearbox, but I suspect driver error, to be honest. And poor old Mark paid a pretty high price because he ran into the back of it, which I feel bad about. But then we got down the other end of the joint, down to the other hairpin, and I'm not sure what drugs Dick was on, but he just went straight to the back of me and pushed me off.
Oh. Well, we missed that part. Well, you've done well to recover, Neil. You've still got a good heat, plenty of laps in front of you, and another heat later in the day. You can still get some good points.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. The car's obviously very good, and it'll be nice to try and get a good result for the Coca-Cola racing team. But we're pretty happy with the performance of the old beast at the moment.
No, so. Okay,
with a little bit of luck, I'll sort of be able to get some points back here.
Well, stay with it.
Oh, look how close it is here. Was it a tap? I don't know. Perkins got a little bit out of shape there, and Richards capitalises on that slow exit from the corner. He's side by side with Gardner as they come through the sweeper.
He's in the right spot now.
Oh,
careful.
Big puff of dust there. He doesn't give him a lot of room. Richards goes deeper under brakes and sneaks through on the inside of Wayne Gardner.
Good move there. Obviously, Yokohama been doing a lot of work and a lot of testing, and looking like paying off here at a nice time of the season.
And speaking of testing, Alan, Coca-Cola too have been out very busy over the June break, and that would explain this rise in competitiveness of the Coca-Cola Commodores this weekend. Very quick in qualifying. Crompton, of course, qualifying third, and Wayne Gardner showing an equally impressive pair of heels here in this race. Currently sixth position and well and truly in contention.
You know what they say, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and certainly is manifesting itself here today with the Coke team is doing a superb job, and a great two-car team. A little bit of trouble with one car, second one slots right back up there into contention. The same with the Winfield team. Mark out of it and Jim back into the scene. Really good to see, and of course the two shell cars out in front, 1-2.
Perkins at this stage trying to control his position on the track because he's got Jimmy Richards applying a ton of pressure here in the Winfield Commodore. Gardner's one back behind them, and Perkins, an old wily dog, hangs to the right-hand side of the road.
Wily is the word.
And can you believe that? They dive into the right-hander. Jim says, bang! Well, there was almost just a little touch there. there was one maybe there, but Jim will be all over Larry like a crook blanket here.
This is extremely competitive racing. I've just got to look out the window and have a real look down, start, finish straight, and there's nothing. You can throw a blanket over Larry and Jim at the moment.
Oops.
Nothing separating them.
Well, it looks like Jimmy's finally enjoying himself. He hasn't had much fun this season. The car not to his liking. He's not prepared to drive the limits of the car, but didn't feel he had the right grip or the right balance. But obviously today the car working very well for him, and Jimmy's proving he's just as quick as anyone in the right equipment. Has another sneak down the inside of Perkins. A drag race here as we take Castrol race cam aboard Perkins' car. And it's side by side, and Larry not lacking for grunt. Look at Jimmy, lets a rip through the sweep at 240 kilometres an hour. He's got him covered under brakes. Great run from Richards. Look at Gardner.
Gardner said, wherever you go, Jim, I'm with you.
Well, these guys have been doing more than tyre testing. That's been some brake development there. That was a superb pull-up by Wayne Gardner and a tremendous job by Jim Richards.
Well, Jimmy Richards running a single caliper front brake setup on the car. Skaife was experimenting with a twin caliper setup similar to the system pioneered by the Coca-Cola team. But no shortage of brakes from Jimmy's car. Tremendous driving here as he moves his way up well into the top 6.
John Bowe needed a race win here today almost to lock up the championship with round 9 to come at Wanneroo next weekend, and of course the grand final at Sydney's Oran Park Raceway the first weekend in August. And here's how they run at Mallala. Heat number 1, John Bowe, the race leader. Teammate Dick Johnson doing a heck of a job as rear gunner. Glenn Seton and the Falcon, and they've nobbled the Fords, don't you believe it. Jim Richards runs in 4th, and 5th is Wayne Gardner. Here comes another ex-world champion in Alan Jones. Underbrakes the duel, and the Ford wins.
This has been going on lap after lap, and aren't these Bridgestone cars going gangbusters? Jones really warmed up. You can see the battle damage on the left-hand door there. He's been in the thick of things.
Thomas Mazira moves up behind them. Perkins is dropping back through the pack, which sort of worries me just a touch about the Dunlop runners here today.
Yes, I think Larry may be a little bit concerned there about his choice of tyre, but certainly here Alan Jones, who worked hard and drove very well to get 9th position qualifying time yesterday to stay in the top 10 convincingly for the Peter Jackson team, and here starting now his harassment of Jim Richards.
There you go, another drag race.
Well, Neil Crompton has gone to the pits and is out. We'll get a report from down the pits. The day is over for, well, not the entire day, but certainly race 1 is over for Neil Crompton. Done a great job in the Commodore, and the owner of the team, Wayne Gardner, still out there.
Oh, look at Alan Jones down the inside of Jimmy Richards. He's just going through this field so quickly. He's pushed his way, was 5th last time across the start finish line. Now he takes Richards for 4th. So that's Falcons 1, 2, 3, 4 if he can nail Richards down here under brakes. But Jimmy's not going to give in without a fight.
There's a bit of panel damage too on the 35 car, make no doubt about that. And he's Gardner, I'm with you, boy.
And Jimmy gives the finger. Thank you, Wayne. He's not going to get through easily.
That'll get Wayne Stander up, make no mistake about that.
Well, that was a good move on his part. He saw the gap he should have taken. He tried it.
Oh, here's Thomas. Here's Thomas.
Does anybody say
You want some good racing?
you want some? I've stumbled for words over the criticism of this formula from time to time, but better have a little replay of this if you think this isn't competitive racing.
No, I don't want you to be political, Alan.
No, I'm trying not to be.
So lap 29 lap contest, 13 laps completed in this terrific scrap here. John Bowe, Dick Johnson, Seton, Alan Jones, Jimmy Richards, Wayne Gardner and Thomas Mazira. This is the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th position.
At this stage of the race, there's still got to be a lot of strategy. Naturally, go as fast as you can, but it is a long sprint race, and these fellows have got to decide how much stamina they've
look at
got.
that, side by side, and Gardner gets a little tap. Mazira takes advantage of this smoke pouring off the back of the Cape Commodore. I think he's got a tyre rub his hair.
He is now.
He copped that one, but
Here comes
cannot
Thomas.
go off the road at your peril. We've seen it happen. Neil had trouble initially when he got involved with Skaife, and now here's the boss coming in with a bit of a smoker. Pity to see.
Coke team cannot take a trick. Their most competitive run. You can see the damage on the back of the car. I would suspect that's a tyre rub, and he may even have damaged an oil cooler under the car. There could be oil smoke, but whatever it is, he's out of the race.
It's the man who won the Peter Jackson Dash earlier today. Car number 30, Glenn Seton, the only man that's really making a big run outside of Brock at John Bowe for the championship this year. Had a wretched run here last year. Started the day fine, but it all went, if you'll recall, he had an onboard fire and had to bail. Well, he's ready to go, take it one more after Dick if he can get a shot at him here. And Dick's got the widest Falcon you've ever seen.
Well, this is a pretty interesting battle too. Dick Johnson is running these new batch of UK tyres which arrived just during the week. The first run he's had on in a race situation, and he is matching Seton now on his proven rubber combination.
And not only that,
for 10th.
And not only that, but they're both gained on John Bowe.
Seton nailed him in the S's. I don't know whether Dick just
Seton's been
hesitated for a second. Yeah, Seton is very close. He's certainly shadowing John.
Watch for them here.
This is going to be an interesting couple of laps coming up here.
Oh, sneaks up the inside. Now it's critical here that Bowe doesn't lose his cool and just gets some points. He's got to just, now with Brock out of the picture, all he has to do is keep stringing together good points.
It's the last thing we want to see is
braking this time, braking.
And I think John Bowe may have twigged to that actually, Alan.
Yes.
He knows the championship is in view. He pulls up the inside of Bowe. Seton has him well and truly covered.
He did for a moment, and then Bowe could have held him off there, but yes.
I think after that move there coming on to pit straight, John thought that Glenn was definitely serious about passing, and he doesn't want to damage his car. He knows he has to finish the win.
Look at this, Alan Jones. What's he done now? He's taken another 1.5 seconds out of it. He's really getting very close to Johnson here. John Bowe sitting in the protection of his team. Glenn Seton still in front, but Peter Brock is the man who is also going with Jones. Absolute gangbusters here. He's just there. He is in shot.
Yep.
Look at the amount of ground he's made up over this race distance.
Yeah, the pair of them here, Brock and Mazzara for the mobile telecom Telstra operation. We don't know whether it's telecom or Telstra anymore, but we'll have to figure that one out in due course.
And also Brock will be mindful of the wherever he finishes in the first seat is his starting position for the second. If he can muscle his way up toward the front, he's going to be looking very good. David Attard.
Uncharacteristic spin there by David Attard, but tyres could be starting to let him down.
Well, Brocky's on the move in 05, so it's tightened up here. The championship points. Brock needs a haul of them to pick up some ground on John Bowe and the championship itself. Seton's already made his move.
Well, the buffer coming into this. Oh, look at Jones down the inside of Johnson. Boof.
Yes.
Little tap there to let him know he's well and truly coming through. He shoots out of there like the Apollo 11.
Brock.
And Brock came through as well. Johnson got really crossed up there. So Johnson gets shuffled back. Brock's able to capitalise. He's down the inside of Jones. They're side by side as they come down toward the start. The braking area at the end of the straight. Unbelievable stuff from Brock.
Look at the spectators. They've all come alive. Johnson's back. You want to play that game? I can play it too.
Well, he's got back in front of Jones, but the man who's threatening the points table is Brock. He's the one who slipped through the net, and he's coming right up behind Bowe. 25 laps down of this 29 lap. And look at Jones. He's got a tyre rubbing too.
Yes, a little bit of body panel work here. Brocky on fire. He's got some of that Northern Territory bull dust in his lungs. I think he's trying to blow it out here today.
Well, he's allowed Mazzara to go through and take the battle up. There's nothing Jones can do in the way of points. All he wants to do, Brock, is pull in John Bowe and pass him and keep this championship alive.
26 laps down, 3 to go. Not a lot of real estate to play with. Just under 10 kilometres of racing left. Johnson, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about Brock, even though he may be able to hang on to him. Look at the lap times. He's going very much almost as quick as Brocky. He
did a pretty good job on Alan Jones. I think he's more than happy to do one on Brock.
Well, let's see if he can hang with the back of Brock's HRT Commodore. No lack of squirt from the DJR Falcons. We've seen that this year. There's 7.1 seconds is the lead he has over John Bowe at the moment. There's Bowe. Yep. Brock trying to zero in. Look how deep he goes to the right. Bowe moves over to cover his tracks. He's got every right to do that.
Oh, of course he has.
So Brock, and he's in the shell sandwich now. What a fascinating contest this is. Forward, Holden forward. Brock taking on the Falcons in the final laps of this opening heat.
Well, Brock will be looking down the inside here, and there's no use going to the outside because Johnson will be Johnson will be up on the inside. So if you're going to make a move, you're going to have to make it a very, very decisive move when you attack Bowe, because Johnson's going to shut your options off.
The crowd along pit straight, you can see them jumping on the spot. They're getting very excited. Dick Johnson, Dunlop Race Cameras, we take you into the heart of this battle. You can see his teammate under there coming under fire. One slip from Bowe and Brock will be through. Look at Mazzara. He comes up to have its 2 Holdens, 2 Fords.
John Bowe does drive superbly under these conditions. This is reminding me of Winton when he held off the field just so very well.
Brock up on the inside, nothing there. Now you watch Dick if he can. He'll get up the inside.
Oh, look
Brock's
at
on the grass. So too was Dick.
Well, he's had 20,000 kilometres of driving through the dirt. It's not going to change his mind here. He sticks 2 wheels up on the infield. And look at the amount of power from the DJR Falcon. He can hold Brock in a straight line. Let's see what happens under brakes. No doubt John Bowe will duck down the inside. He has. And he's gone on the anchors very early. And Brock's been able to sneak through.
That's right.
Superb fashion. Just a superb move.
Listen to the crowd, will you? They're cheering all the way around the track. They can't believe this.
Let's not take anything away from Thomas Mazzera, who's also shadowing the second of the Shell cars and done very well to maintain his position here in this field.
Last lap for Glenn Seton as he crosses the start finish line. Here's the battle for second, third, fourth and fifth.
Listen to the cheers, the grandstand, they're all jumping. Brock from the back of the field up to second, and championship points coming away from John Bowe's grasp in race 1 of round 8 at Mallala today. What a fabulous race it's been. Brilliant conditions, and before we estimate about 28,000 V8 fans.
Well, it's a great move by Brock on tyres too. He went for a fairly hard tyre on the rear and a soft one on the front. It's been working well for the HRT Commodores in previous rounds, and boy, isn't it working well here. Here's Mazzera trying to push up and make some ground on Johnson as well.
Well, just think how hard Rocky's had to work to get from the tail of the field, Mark. It's not as if it's just been a good tyre choice. He has worked that car hard, himself hard, to get up into this position. That didn't happen by accident. 21 cars he had to make his way through. There he is in second position. I think John Bowe would be in disbelief. Brock spinning to the back of the field in that opening lap, and he's come back to overtake him. What an unbelievable recovery from the Holden hero.
They work the back straight. This is the final lap up to the S's for the final time. Car number 30, Glenn Seton, was a shocker here at Mallala last year, and that championship chase after Bowe is on the boil again. The final corner, crowd to their feet, and they've done it. Seton across the line, and the Peter Jackson Falcon, followed by championship runner-up so far Peter Brock, and then John Bowe, Dick Johnson, next followed by Thomas Mazzera and Alan Jones. Time to check out the top 10 on the Shell race score. Glenn Seton, what a performance, and what about a performance from Peter Brock? Last to second, John Bowe takes third, Dick Johnson fourth, Thomas Mazzera finished in fifth. Sixth place went to Alan Jones, Jimmy Richards took seventh, eighth was Paul Romano, the privateer, ninth another privateer, Mark Poole, and rounding out the top 10, 39, Chris